This is Homage to Kilauea, a 12-inch by 12-inch mosaic. I started this after I had finished a large project, and I wanted to just casually work on something using some materials that I've collected and that I happen to have. And just kind of do something a little spontaneous. These, the main features here are the shale and then these smaller stones. This is from my backyard. These are big pieces of shale that flake off of larger stones. You can see I think they're really beautiful. The coloring, the earthy coloring, and it's really got a lovely ripply kind of texture. They are very thin, and they are layers, thin layers. These stones come from across the world, from a fellow mosaic artist living in an amazing environment, close to the coast, to beautiful cliffs, to mountains, beautiful countryside, rolling hills. It's just such a beautiful area, and all these amazing stones, a wide variety of types of stones. And being the lovely person that he is, he sent me a bundle of these stones, and I've been working with them a little bit. So I wanted to combine them with my own stones and just kind of play around, nothing too serious. I was going to use greens to go along with my natural pieces here. But what happened was this big piece of shale here, the top layer of it cracked along here. But it was still kind of a little stuck to the bottom layer, which was intact and was already in the cement. So I didn't really want to pull the whole piece off. It's a nice big piece, and I had it all ready, kind of arranged with these other pieces. But I couldn't leave the crack as it was. It was quite an obvious crack. I didn't want to. So I got the idea to kind of spread that top layer a little bit, and just to see what would happen to it. And it created this fissure. And that's exactly what came to mind, was a fissure. It started to go this way, and then I kind of managed to make that look a little better. But because it was a fissure, and because the active volcano, Kilauea, was really getting more active, and there were some lava flows on the big island of Hawaii, I switched directions and kind of went this lava direction and water direction. So, and I just happen to have a lot of scraps. This is a little tub of scraps from previous projects, which I barely made a dent in here, but I thought, you know, I'll use scraps, and that'll be great. So I started in here, and I did want to get some sense of flow. Didn't want crazy paving, or just kind of a nothing, but I wasn't working real hard at it either. Of course, as I got into it more, I think the challenge of it got the better of me, or it captured me, I should say, and I wanted to do better. So I started paying more attention to it. By the time I got into the blues, I was fully into this challenge and really determined to cut and lay the pieces in a way that better expressed the flow, and I did achieve some of that. It's a little more flowy, I think, a little more refined than some of the red. These pieces are really very small. I'm using this pick here to point at things, and this handle on the pick, it's about 1/8 of an inch. So you can see that a lot of these pieces are generally about 1/8 of an inch, between 1/8 and 1/4. Also, some of the channels where I've laid the mosaic, they're also very, very thin. Some get a little wider, but I think this is about 1.25 inches across here, but the areas are pretty tight to be working in and doing very much as far as illustrating flow. But I'm pretty happy with it, and I learned a lot, and it really made me want to work on this technical skill a little more, to show this kind of flow more gracefully and kind of more seamlessly. So I'm doing more of that in a couple more works. Something else, as I wrap this up, something about mosaics which has captured me for now probably about 22 years, is the surface reflection of mosaics is just kind of magical to me, and it never ceases to capture my attention and kind of mesmerize me a little bit. And it's something I really like. This mosaic particularly is interesting for that reason. The matte against the shiny, just the way this looks reminds me of what drew me to mosaics, 22 years ago, and it still enchants me. So I'll leave it at this view. Homage to Kilauea.